Try to guess this song. Hey everyone, this is Hassan Osman from thecatchmanager.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to avoid the curse of knowledge. First, let's start with a definition. So the curse of knowledge is a type of cognitive bias that happens when a person is trying to communicate something and falsely assumes that the other person has the right information or background to understand what is being communicated. Now, I know this might be a little bit ambiguous, so to help explain that definition, let me tell you about a cool study called the Tappers and Listeners study. So I first heard about the study from a book called Made to Stick, where the authors referenced a simple game that was conducted in Stanford University back in the 90s. And in the game, they separated people into two groups. Group A was the tappers, and Group B were the listeners. And they had them sit across each other on a table. Now the tappers were given a list of well-known songs, such as Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or other lullabies, and they had to pick a song and tap out the rhythm to a listener by knocking on the table. And the listener was then supposed to guess the song by listening to the taps. And the interesting thing is that the tappers were first asked to predict the odds that the listeners would guess correctly. And they assumed 50%. So they thought that 1 in 2 people would get it right. However, the shocking result was that the actual number that the listeners got right was only 2.5%. So that's 1 in 40 people. And this was very shocking to the tappers. Some typical responses were, "Isn't this song obvious? And how can you be so stupid?" And the reason this happened was that when the tappers were tapping, they were hearing the songs in their heads. And it was extremely hard for the tappers to imagine what it was like to lack that knowledge. So this is the curse of knowledge. It's the fact that the knowledge that the tappers had in their heads of those songs actually cursed them. And by the way, the song I was tapping earlier was Happy Birthday to You, if you were able to guess that. So the curse of knowledge is a powerful concept that happens every day, everywhere, across every single culture. It happens between parents and their children, CEOs and their employees, and of course between managers and their remote teams. So here are 3 tips to help you avoid it. First, simply acknowledge that the curse of knowledge exists in every single form of communication that you make, whether it's an email, a phone conversation, or a meeting. And just being cognizant of it will help you out tremendously. Second, always try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Think of their experience, their background, and their culture, and how they might be viewing what you're communicating out. And third, simplify the message and make it as concrete as possible before communicating it. And to quote Denzel Washington's character in Philadelphia, "Please explain this to me like I'm a 12-year-old." And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more weekly videos.